અહીંયા જ છે. પદા જય પ્રભુ બેલ શંખ વગર હાથ કી જય. Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Vando Mui Savadana Mate Vando Mui Savadana Mate Jahara Prasade Var E Bhava Toriya Jai Jahara Prasade Var E Bhava Toriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoy Te Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoy Te Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chite Te Koriya Kya ধারণা করিহ মনে আশা ধারণা করিহ মনে আশা শ্রী গুরু চরণে রতি এই সে উত্তমা গতি যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা যে প্রসাদে পুরে সর্ব আশা चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेम भक्ति जहा होते अविद्या विनाश जाते प्रेम भक्ति जहा होते अविद्या विनाश जाते वेदे गाय जहार चरितो वेदे गाय जहार चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधमाज नार बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधमाज नार बंधु लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवाना लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवाना आहा प्रभु करो दया देहु मोरे पाद छाया आहा प्रभु करो दया देहु मोरे पाद छाया हे बेजास कुशुक्रि भुवाना हे बेजास कुशुक्रि भुवाना जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद। प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद। प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare। Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare। Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivajakacarya Stotar Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanar Vrinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुन राधा कुन श्री गिरि गोवर्धन की। श्री वृंदावन धाम की, श्री नवदीप मायापुर धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, गंगा माई की, जमुना माई की, भक्ति देवी की, तुलसी महारानी की, कलयुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, बृहत मृदंग ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की, ट्रांसेंडेंटल प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की। निताय गो प्रेमानंदे। All glorious to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glorious to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glorious to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Translation of Guru Puja. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates. By him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna. So we welcome you all to our Sunday Feast program. Today is a bit very wet and very windy, so many of us are, affected by the weather. But you all, fought with the weather and come to the Stoke program. So you won't be disappointed today. Your courage will be rewarded. Today we have a very wonderful devotee who has come all the way from Leicester to give a talk on a topic called the second chance. It's a nice topic, a second chance. We always mess up with the first chance, isn't it? But we always need a second chance. He's going to talk about second chance. Our devotee Amani Prabhu, he is born and bred up in Leicester. His ancestry is from Punjab, so he's a little Kshatriya spirit he has. He studied in UK, and then he was working as a teacher in Stoke-on-Trent only, in one of the school here, secondary school here. And he's been devotee for many years. And wherever he goes, he has one helpless quality he has. He can't stop preaching. So wherever he goes, he preaches. So when he was a teacher here in Stoke, he was preaching in the school also. And the school authority became so impressed with his work. So they allowed him to take a group of students to Vrindavan. So he took a trip to Vrindavan for about a week, was it, Prabhu? It was for a week you went to Vrindavan?
Yeah, there was 4 trips in total.
Oh, 4 trips, not just one, 4 trips. And these are all students who had never heard of Krishna, never Vrindavan, and he took him there, and and he had a wonderful, Krishna conscious exposure to them. And then, then he moved on, and he worked as a consultant, as in the education industry. And now he's working very nicely with Leicester Temple. He has a very wonderful 2 children. You are Nimai. Yeah, so he is Nimai. He's just like his father. And there is another, Prabhuji's another son. His name is Nitai. Nimai, Nitai. And they are 2 wonderful brothers. They are Prabhuji is bringing him very nicely in Krishna consciousness. And he has a very, treasure house of lot of experiences. How a young boy, born and brought up in UK, and how he came to Krishna consciousness. And how to take the second chance. If we mess up with the first chance, how we can take the second chance. So, like to hear from him? Yeah? So, please welcome him by 3 times loudly chanting, Haribo! 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 Amani Prabhu, please take your seat. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. So I know I'll start with a little something that I was going to do later, but I know Mataji's going to be busy with the prasadam. Thank you, Radhamohan Prabhu, for a wonderful introduction, as always. So much glorification, and most of what Prabhu spoke is true. But with what we may deem as success, there's a guiding light, if we are fortunate. And I was very fortunate, actually. 2005 was when I first picked up Srila Prabhupada's book, and thought, wow, this vegetarian concept seems to make sense. So I started practicing on my own and trying to become vegetarian. And the more I read Srila Prabhupada's books, the more I became inspired, and I found my local temple to try and inquire. Prabhupada was saying we need to associate with devotees, so I thought, let me try and find some devotees, and lo behold, I'm sure many of you have had similar experiences. When we have some desire to know, to inquire more about Krishna, then Krishna arranges. And the more we delve deeper, we understand that Krishna, he's within us as Paramatma, and he hears, he knows everything, and he reciprocates accordingly to every desire. But when we desire to know more about him, then he doesn't waste time. So for some reason, I had some great fortune. I was in Leicester. I started associating with devotees, and I thought I had misfortune. I thought Krishna, he's not very happy with me, because simultaneously I was finishing my postgraduate in education. I was looking to start my career in teaching, and I was offered a job in a place called Stoke-on-Trent. And I was Stoke-on-Trent. And I was doing some research, and you don't find many great things about Stoke-on-Trent, but I thought maybe it's a place where I can start my career. But I told myself I would never move here and live here, because I'm a Leicester boy, and Stoke-on-Trent is going backwards. Like I said, I only started reading Srila Prabhupada's book, so my mentality was very different. So Krishna actually showed some kindness as I started attending the Sunday programs, and simultaneously thinking, okay, I've got to go to Stoke-on-Trent, I've got to spend more time out there, because the school, they were a little bit lenient, they said you can commute, but we need you here now. And I was thinking, how do I do this? I didn't drive at the time, and somebody said, oh, there's one devotee who comes from Stoke-on-Trent. I was like, really? What are the chances of that? And that was Radhamohan Prabhu and Priya Mataji. So this is where my great fortune begins, because what initially started as enjoying a Sunday program together to commuting with them, they would give me a lift back to Stoke-on-Trent, and this was invaluable. I would have, I didn't know at the time, such pure devotees, such powerful devotees, Vaishnavas, where I'd have this 1 hour, 1.5 hours. It's the one time where you're happy with traffic. Traffic, great, because you'd have that association. And then Prabhuji and Mataji started this very special weekly Sangha program every Wednesday, and it was really special. I was a bachelor at the time, so first things first, having the prasadam that Mataji prepared was absolutely amazing, and having a class and reading together, that became something really powerful and special. And from there, I think it was a total of 7 to 8 years, I stayed in Stoke-on-Trent. And, as I reach my middle years, as I mature, we look back, don't we? And we think, okay, where am I going? What has got me there? And if there is any, if I see any progress or any growth, or if somebody says, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Don't think about it. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? If somebody asks me that, or if I'm to pinpoint, my great fortune in even meeting my Guru Maharaj, or preparing myself to become someone fit, to enter the realms of initiation and understanding Krishna, then that is simply the mercy and all credit to Radhamohan Prabhu and Priya Mataji, So I thank you so much. Nimai would like to present some garlands for Radha Mohan Prabhu, Priya Mataji and Balaram. So Nimai, please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Radha Mohan Prabhu ki jai, Shri Priya Mataji ki jai, Balaram ki jai. I was laughing with my boys the other day. They absolutely adore Balaram. And I said, I actually remember from the days that I'm reflecting upon, I remember Balaram running into the room, and he used to adore Hanuman, and he used to go, Hanuman! So that's how I'll always remember you. So Jai. We'll start with the Jaya Radha Madhava prayers. Do we have cartels anywhere, please? Thank you, Mate. Jai. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari, 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 Yashodhanandana Vrajajana Ranjana, Nandana Vrajajana, Yashodhanandana Vrajajana Ranjana, Yashodhanandana Vrajajana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Bol Hare Rama 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Nittai Gaur Nittai Gaur Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Om Gyantirmandasya Jananjanan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Sajivam Sadhavetam Sadhabhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Hare Krishna Kuruna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagapate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vanchakalpatave Visha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashwati Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So as Prabhuji mentioned, the topic is a second chance or a last chance, whichever way we look at it. And though the topic that we're going to discuss may sound morbid by its very nature or depressing to marry with the weather today, where we discuss death, we can also understand that this is the one surety that we have. We have birth and we have death. In some countries, people are more privy and acceptable to this notion. It's not as taboo. In the Western world, we find this general notion that we don't want to think about it. Though we know it's a surety, we don't want to focus on it. We don't want to see it. However, the actual notion of death doesn't have to be something that is depressing. Quite on the contrary, it is something that, if understood properly, can become our very purpose of living. And the Bhagavad-Gita is our introductory guide into understanding the self. When we dive into the world today of what is success, you will find a plethora of responses, mainly centered upon relationships, income, academia. All of these aspects would be something where one would say, yes, if I reach this goal, then I am successful. My son is successful. My wife is successful. My community is successful. However, one is successful if they can answer these three questions pertaining to: who am I? What am I doing here? And how should I live this life? And the Bhagavad-Gita provides the guidance and the answers. And we call it introductory because just as Krishna is unlimited, the knowledge is unlimited. So when we marry up this aspect of death not being something morbid or not being something to get depressed about, we can simultaneously understand that this very eternal nature of understanding the self and understanding the Supreme Lord becomes something, a vast ocean of blissful knowledge. And once we step into that arena, it becomes a focus and a lifestyle for us that brings great joy. But anything that brings or potentially brings great joy, brings happiness, brings a promise, requires some work, requires some discipline. Just as we want to, Christmas is coming up, and in January, there will be this huge influx of individuals who will say, now I will set my goal, I will lose weight. And they'll be very determined and very disciplined. They will have a plan, they may find a trainer, they may pay for a course, and the plan would be a 4-week plan, a 2-week plan, and they would stick to it. But the results for, let's say, losing weight will not be instantaneous. It will take time. You would understand or try to comprehend by those who have achieved that level of success or that weight loss on how you can do it. So you have the faith in the process. You have the faith that it will happen. So you continue. And if you do continue, then the results will be there. Money, Lakshmi, if we want money, we also understand that okay, maybe I've been spending too much. I need to become more disciplined. So I will have a plan, I will save, I'll only spend on certain things, on my needs and not my wants, etc., etc. So we have this universal understanding that to achieve these things, that knowledge, discipline, patience is required. Yet many are fast to say, I will not believe in God unless I see him, unless he's in front of me, and then I will believe him. In fact, if Krishna appears in front of them, they still won't believe. And we can understand here that God is not cheap. by his very essence and his omniscience and the meaning of Bhagavan, he's the possessor of all six opulences, from beauty to renunciation, to his kindness, to his power, to his strength, to his wealth. We may have one or two, maybe three of these qualities, where somebody may be very beautiful and they may be very rich. But God, Krishna, he's the possessor of all six opulences. So to attain and understand one of such nature, of course, is possible, but of course there's a process involved. And that process is manifold, actually. But some processes are faster than other processes. Just like on a motorway, we have a first lane, a second lane, a third lane. Similarly, one who is wise and intelligent would ask the question, what's the fastest and the safest route that can keep me going in that direction? And to help fallen souls such as us, we have His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who sacrificed so much. His glories are also unlimited, to give us the opportunity to understand Krishna. He comes as his pure representative. And what does he give? What does he bring? What is Srila Prabhupada giving his blood, sweat and tears for? To give us actually the simplest method of reviving our Krishna consciousness, of understanding where true happiness and bliss lies. And the formula is such that we would think to obtain something, is that, Amani, you were just saying, God is not cheap. And now you're going to tell me that actually to understand and see God, we simply need to utter the holy name. Well, yes. We have 4 ages, yugas. And some of you may or may not be aware that when we hear of Kali Yuga or Kali Yuga, it's the most degraded, it's the darkest age. And we're in it right now. And if we just open our eyes, we can understand more. This was one of my realizations. The more we associate with devotees, the more we read Srila Prabhupada's books. Srila Prabhupada said we should spend 1 hour to 2 hours a day reading his books. He also said that his books will become the law books for the next 10,000 years, I think. So in this way, we can understand that in this most degraded age, for some reason, we've been given something that we've been told that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably isn't. So why? Why is it that the holy name is the doorway, the secret, the key? Well, the Lord is all merciful. It's his nature. He's a person. We're part and parcel. So he sees that in this age, people are less intelligent. They're easily distracted. They struggle more. They're struggling with finding a day and night, working hard to get a little bit of happiness. And we think that that is the meaning of happiness. And because we're so fallen, and because the Lord is so merciful, he comes down in what is considered the most degraded age, personally, to give us the easiest method of reviving our Krishna consciousness. Reviving our Krishna consciousness means to become happy in this world and the next. To summarize, And to put it into context, it's like everybody in this room right now is feeling really merciful, and they say, Amani Prabhu, that was a great introduction there. As a gift, we'd like to give you our passwords to all of our bank accounts. Here's our car keys, take our car. You're feeling in a really, really good mood. So Krishna, he's come and taken what is most confidential, what normally should take a lot of commitment, a lot of time, a lot of patience to achieve. How do we know that? Because in the other ages that are not so degraded, it took a long time. But in this age, he has came and given this Shravanam Kirtanam process, hearing and chanting. And again, just by hearing and chanting, hearing means hearing the holy name, yes. Hearing means, what else does hearing mean? Anybody? Jai, listening to lectures of Srimad Bhagavatam. How else can we hear in the right, most appropriate way that is benefiting to us and our... Sorry? Understanding what we are hearing. That's nice, isn't it? Understanding what we are hearing. That's powerful, actually, because we might hear, but we might not understand. So to inquire and to desire that, what you inquire for, is important. So nice, thank you for that. Anything else, Mataji's? How else can we hear? What are we doing right now? Are we in a pub? No, we're in a temple amongst devotees. So this becomes our sadhu sangha, which is devotee association, which is our greatest shelter. What you associate with, you become. We know this. We're trying to use connotations that we can relate to our position in the world today. So here, if we're looking at this concept of association, if we're associating with devotees or like-minded persons, then we're going to make more progress, we're going to have more realizations. And if we seek the association of advanced devotees, this is the third lane process. And seeking means desiring. Seeking means sincerity. And if we just have that little sincerity in our heart to know Krishna, to come out of darkness, to come out of ignorance, then it is a 100% guarantee that Krishna will take you there. Yes, there are tests along the way, there always will be, but there's also bliss in those tests. You have to get used to Krishna's nature. He's I think in Gujarati you call it nutgut. He can be very naughty, so we have to kind of get used to how he wants to do things as the master, how he wants to come in as a hero. So, Jai. So Balaram Prabhu, you said you do a weekly, what was the verse, Prabhu? 2.16. Have you got it up on here, or I can just read it out, Prabhu, if not. So do you do a weekly verse, on every Sunday? Nice. So today's verse, chapter 2, verse 16. Na shato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate shata. Ubayorapi drishto tash, tevi anyosh tatva drashtipihi. Anybody else like to read the verse? Tatva vidye bhavo. Na bhavo vidyate sataha. Ubayorapi drishtotas ta anyos tattva darshibihi. Nashato vidyate bhavo. Na bhavo vidyate sataha. Ubayorapi drishtotas Nimai, do you want to give it a go? No? Mataji's? Nashato vidyate bhavo. Na bhavo vidyate sataha. Anyone else? Translation. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by studying the nature of both. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. There is no endurance of the changing body. That the body is changing every moment by the actions and reactions of the different cells is admitted by modern medical science, and thus growth and old age are taking place in the body. But the spirit soul exists permanently, remaining the same despite all changes of the body and the mind. That is the difference between matter and spirit. By nature, the body is ever-changing and the soul is eternal. This conclusion is established by all classes of seers of the truth, both impersonalists and personalists. In the Vishnu Purana 212.38, it is stated that Vishnu and his abodes all have self-illuminated spiritual existence. The words existent and non-existent refer only to spirit and matter. That is the version of all seers of the truth. This is the beginning of the instruction by the Lord to the living entities who are bewildered by the influence of ignorance. Removal of ignorance involves the re-establishment of the eternal relationship between the worshipper and the worshipable, and the consequent understanding of the difference between the part and parcel living entities and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One can understand the nature of the Supreme by thorough study of oneself, the difference between oneself and the Supreme Being understood as the relationship between the part and the whole. In the Vedanta Sutras, as well as in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Supreme has been accepted as the origin of all emanations. Such emanations are experienced by superior and inferior natural consequences. The living entities belong to the superior nature, as it will be revealed in the 7th chapter. Although there is no difference between the energy and the energetic is accepted as the supreme, and the energy or nature is accepted as subordinate. The living entities, therefore, are always subordinate to the Supreme Lord. And in the case of the master and the servant, or the teacher and the taught, such clear knowledge is impossible to understand under the spell of ignorance. And to drive away such ignorance, the Lord teaches the Bhagavad-Gita for the enlightenment of all living entities for all time. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So Srila Prabhupada here in this purport, he mentions master and servant. And it's such a, Srila Prabhupada would give such simple analogies which makes some of the most intricate, challenging notions and teachings to understand so simply, you know. And the master and servant, he uses in different contexts. And one we can understand is when a servant is in the home looking after the home, he's got one eye on the home and the other eye on the master to see if the master is satisfied, if he's happy. And if he sees that the master is satisfied, then he also becomes satisfied. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada mentions here that in the 7th chapter, this notion of part and parcel is expanded upon. We can understand that when we're speaking about Krishna, Bhagavan, God, and we're speaking about jivas, us, we can understand that when we dive into some of the questions of who we are, where do we come from, how should we live here, we can understand that we're part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. He has created us. So, just like we take a drop from the ocean, the water is there, so is the ocean, or is the sun. We have the sunlight coming into the room, but we are not the sun and we are not the ocean. So in size, in power, there is a very obvious and vast difference. But the nature is non-different from the Supreme Lord. And if we act in accordance to that nature, we are able to actually become happy in what we may call a constitutional position. What is a constitutional position? It's just like a fish. If we take a fish out of water and we offer the fish so many nice things, you know, we say to the fish, welcome to the land, you know, as a welcoming, we'd like to give you this nice Versace jacket, this Emporio Amani. It's a good way of preaching, somebody told me as well. You could say Amani, and it says Amani, yeah, you know, Emporio Amani, and it's like the designer. So yeah, we'll use that for a bit of preaching here and there. But yeah, so if we offer the fish so many nice luxuries and amenities, a nice pillow, a nice drink, will the fish be happy? Why not? Why will the fish not be happy? Sorry? Because it's not in the water? Yeah. Because he's not in his constitutional position. So when we take him out of the position that we've put him in, Hare Krishna, that money should be coming to me this way. Hare Krishna, all glories. So we can understand that when the fish is placed back into the water, he's like, oh, you know, he's happy again and he's moving around and he's not looking back and lamenting at his Versace jacket and his nice drink and his pillow and even the sun shining onto the land on the beach, you know, he's not lamenting. He's just completely happy where he is in the water. So this analogy which Prabhupada again gave is very, very powerful because we can dissect it and understand that through this fish analogy is the very essence of the understanding of the Vedas and who we are and what we should be doing. And to understand that, if we put ourselves in the position of that fish right now, that is our striving for wealth, position, fame, happy relationships. But actually, we don't find that full satisfaction. We may live in hope that one day we will, but we don't. Why? Because we by nature are spirit. We can establish, as we discussed and as Srila Prabhupada touches upon here, that the Lord has created us. So in quality, we are the same. And it's in that Satchitananda and that bliss and that knowledge that we belong, where is our actual happiness, our normality, our satisfaction. So if we understand that we are spirit and we are eternal, and we understand that all of the other aspects of the wealth, the fame, the name is matter. The products, the house, the car, it's all matter. What is matter? It's temporary, it's material. It will finish. It doesn't last long. Yet we are so foolish that we are chasing after that we can see with our eyes is non-permanent. So when we're taking something that is spirit in nature and we're trying to find joy and happiness and normality in matter, the two are creating an incompatible situation. So the wise and the intelligent would ask, what is in tune with that nature? Where can I find that happiness? And the wise would answer, when you adjoin spirit with spirit. And that is the servant and the master. The master is Krishna. The servant is us. And when we look to please him and serve him, we understand that that word serve and service is our nature. If somebody puts a nice palatable plate of eatables, we might say, oh, it looks really nice. But we don't know, it may be overburdened with salt, maybe too sweet. So there's only one way we can know if it tastes good. It doesn't just look good. And that is in the partaking of the eating. So similarly, if Krishna and the Bhagavad-Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam and so many other scriptures and texts are telling us that this is your nature, and in serving the Lord, in this mood of service, you can actually attain real eternal happiness, then that's only going to come if we partake in the act of devotional service. And in the act of devotional service, we start to go back to what we were discussing earlier. Having the guide, having the patience, having the time, having the shelter, having the association will only take us there. But does that mean that we can't have a career? Does that mean we cannot have a nice car? Does that mean that we can't have fruitful relationships? No. What it means, and this is the key, I wouldn't say mantra because we already have a key mantra, but the key reminder is to Krishna-ize everything, or spiritualize everything. And we try to understand that, what does that mean? How do we spiritualize? Well, let's have a look at us as human beings. You know, if we're an animal, we share 4 key characteristics: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. So actually, life without Krishna, or life without trying to serve Krishna, becomes what? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. But we actually have something that the animals do not have, and that is some intelligence, definitely the potential to inquire. So if a dog came into here right now, he might sleep for a bit, he might even listen for a bit, he might bark. So he's got the capability of coming here, he's got the capability of sleeping, etc. But he does not have the talent and the capability of trying to nurture the understanding of, is there really a God? Is there really happiness in serving Krishna? Is there really wealth in this holy name? Is this really the answer? So one can inquire. So the Srimad Bhagavatam starts, with this aphorism of, now that we've attained this human birth, I shall inquire who is Krishna. Because it is only in this human birth we can understand who is Krishna. And it is only in this human birth that we can attain the highest goal, which is going to a place where we do not return. And that place is a place where we only experience eternal bliss and happiness. 4:26 of Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says, one who understands my transcendental nature and activities does not, upon leaving his body, take his birth in this material world again. One who understands my transcendental nature and activities. So, again, it's a little bit of a reminder and an eye-opener for all of us, isn't it? Because, yes, we have a ticket to achieve. We have a ticket to try and earn and have a decent shelter, a roof over our heads. But if that becomes our only purpose and goal in life, then how are we not non-different to the animal? So, the inquiry and the path comes in this lifestyle whereby we can work, we can study, we can earn, we can have a family life, but we don't have to learn how to become Krishna conscious in that. That path is already there for us. And it is joyfully performed. Simply chanting, dancing, and feasting your way back to Godhead. Simply. We always have that choice, that free will. And it's in that free will where Krishna, he gives that independence to us. And with that independence, we've created this whole mess. With this little bit of independence we want to enjoy. And now we're in this confusion and this state of flurry. Why? Why is the world like this? Why am I feeling like this? So many things. The list is endless. Yet the anecdote or the prescription we're trying to find is within that matter, within that temporary. It's not possible. Hare Krishna. How are we doing for time, Balaram Prabhu? 5-10 minutes. Jai. I didn't even move on to the class. The notes are here, but it's been nice. Jai. So let's have a look at this. Is there any questions, any comments at this point? Might be nice. So we've got 5 or 10 minutes. So in the last 40, 50 minutes, we've been discussing that actually death and leaving this world doesn't have to become something depressing. It can become something that our life purpose is molded towards in a blissful way. So there's one pastime I was going to share in the 6th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Put your hands up if you've got a Srimad Bhagavatam set in your homes. Jai. Hare Krishna. Who's not got a set? There's some in the middle, some are not sure. If you haven't, please purchase a Srimad Bhagavatam set. It is the life force for us. The Bhagavad-Gita, it introduces us to the A, the B, the C. And we, just like today's verse, we hear Krishna is taking the position. He went from friend to guru, and he's continuing to chastise Arjuna. Because Arjuna, he gives such a nice argument. When I first read the Bhagavad-Gita, I was like, oh, this is why this is a powerful text. I was agreeing with Arjuna. You know, why would you kill your own forefathers, and what good can come of this? So his arguments, I thought, were starting the moral teachings for us in life, until Krishna enters, initially with a smile, followed by a heavy chastisement, and saying, you know, you're speaking such wise words, yet you are a fool. And from there, and this verse today, what was it, Prabhu? 2:16. Here we can get the flavor that Krishna is continuing to chastise here. 2:16. Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existent there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. So Krishna is saying, you know, this is the actuality, and still you have not understood it. And understanding this notion of there is no such thing as death, where Arjuna is given these arguments of killing. What good can come for killing my teachers and forefathers? And actually having the wrong understanding of what duty means. So Krishna here, he starts to bring in this aspect of what actually the seers of the truth see, what the seers of the truth know. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, at the start, there's this powerful, very powerful pastime. If you've already got a Srimad Bhagavatam set, then if you've not got to Canto 6, when you get to Canto 6, you will enjoy reading this canto. Srila Prabhupada mentioned it's important not to skip cantos. It's very tempting sometimes to look at the cover of one of the cantos or one of the books and think, oh, this looks interesting, or a particular pastime. But if we start at the feet of the Srimad Bhagavatam and work through each canto, then we really relish the fruit of the Srimad Bhagavatam. But I can give you a little taster of the 5th and 6th canto, because the 5th, the end of the 5th, I hope today's class we managed to discuss hope, light, and we briefly touched upon the behaviors and actions of those who do not work towards spiritual life, serving a higher entity, becoming a devotee. But then there's also consequences to both. Every action has a reaction. And again, there are many examples using modern science, as Srila Prabhupada says in the purport here, of understanding this notion of action and reaction. So simultaneously, the level of ignorance and acting in such a way results in consequences. And the end of the 5th canto, there's a long list of hellish planets in accordance to our karma and our actions. And then at the beginning of the 6th canto, there's a story about a gentleman named Ajamil. And Ajamil, he was a good man. He was a Brahmin. He was doing everything well. His mannerisms, his worship, his reputation was all intact, and his future was bright. And then something happened. He was walking, and he saw something, just as we see a film, and we might get influenced, might see some fighting, and think, oh, I feel like fighting now, we get influenced. And it tests our discipline, it tests our character. So Ajamil, being so pure and not having so much of an outside life, outside of his spiritual life, saw something of this world, and it influenced him to then make a number of bad decisions. And you make one bad decision, you make another one, and this compounds. And this compounding is the worst. Because if you go from your good association and from your good habits to being under the right shelter, to the contrary, and being in the wrong association, those who move you away from God, Krishna, those who take you away from the path of what is actual, then that's only going to increase. If you associate with devotees, that's also only going to increase. So Ajamil made a choice at that time that led him in a direction that was not favorable to him. And he got married, and he found a new wife, and he had children. He had 10 children. But his youngest son, his name was Narayan. And when Ajamil, he was 88, I think, 86, 88 years old, he was lying there in his bed. He started feeling unwell. And he was dying. And as he was dying, he was becoming in this great anxiety. And his youngest son, Narayan, he had a very, very great affection for. So he called out to him. He said, Narayan, Narayan. And at the same time, there were some terrifying beings. I know there's young children here, so I'm trying to be very careful with terrifying. It's terrifying for adults as well, actually. So there were 3 beings that came who said, right, we have to take you at this point because we have an understanding. We're called the Yamadutas. And it's our job and our duty to act in a way to take persons to planets for the punishment. And as this was happening, some beautiful beings arrived, and they looked just like Vishnu, and they are called the Vishnu Dutas. And here is a really powerful dialogue. The Yamadutas are like, who are you? They've never seen Vishnu Dutas, they've never heard of the Vishnu Dutas. And when we read this 6th canto, it's really beautiful actually, because the Yamadutas, the tone is not of this, who are you, get away from here. It's more of a glorification of their beauty and their luster. And this conversation ensues between the two. And the Vishnu Dutas say, we're order carriers of Vishnu, God. And our job is to take those who are Krishna conscious back to Vaikuntha, the spiritual home. And the Yamadutas are like, you must have got the wrong place, because this guy here, he's been doing this, this, and this, and we have to take him to a place which is definitely not Vaikuntha. And they said, but he chanted the holy name. He said Narayan. And when we hear Narayan called out helplessly, this is the key. You know, we can't imitate. We can't just bank on saying Krishna's name at that time. It has to come from a place deep within. So that is too risky to rely on that. But for that and his previous activities and calling Narayan, the Vishnu Dutas appeared. And the rest is some homework for you to research on the conclusion of that pastime. It's really wonderful. But in essence, we can understand the strength of the holy name. And for us, Narayan is a name, one of Krishna's many, many, many names. But we've been given a special Maha Mantra for this age, that we pray we continue chanting and become Krishna conscious. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is there any questions, comments, criticisms before we finish? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you for the beautiful class. I would like to know, because we're very fresh from vacation here, and we'd like to share, your realizations, your experience in bhakti. You've been born and brought up in Indian origin and Western environment, where all the facilities to live a so-called Western young man's life. Chose bhakti. So what made you choose bhakti? What attracted you to bhakti? And any wonderful pastime you want to share with your life which helped you choosing the path of bhakti? Because you have a very successful career, there is a very wonderful Krishna conscious family. So I think Buddhism will be very helpful. I'll be very happy if you can share how to have a successful life, career, successful family.
It's a formula, Prabhu. And the formula is the same for all of us. It's making a commitment. So Prabhuji is asking, how do we become successful in Krishna consciousness whilst we're trying to become comfortable in this material world? So there's two ends of the spectrum. And is there a middle ground as such? Yes, there is, because the other side would mean, because he's Prabhuji gentleman here, he's got a family, you become so inspired that you think that's, I don't want family life anymore, and you just run away and you're in a forest and, you become a yogi. actually that is not a wise thing to do. It's not an intelligent thing to do. It's something that will not benefit you. And then on the other end, you've got this, I'm going to become so successful, and as we've hopefully summarized and discussed today, has its own consequences when we don't follow in line with Krishna consciousness. So therefore, to understand how we can have that middle ground successfully is trying to create a strong shelter. So when we build a house, first we have a foundation. And British houses in general, they have a good reputation worldwide for being some of the most robust, strongest houses in the world. And partly because of the foundation formula, and partly because it's brick. So we have to think as individuals, how can I create that strong foundation? And they say knowledge is power. And for me, everybody's on a journey, and some are more distressed than others, whether it's sort of across your lifespan so far, or whether it's in this particular moment in time. So Krishna says, ultimately, those who come to me for four main reasons. And distress comes at the number one top reason. Money, inquiring about the truth. So to really achieve that outcome can only come by following and understanding one who has achieved that already. We hear that so much in the motivational world, It's find a person who's achieved it and follow them, and that's what you will become. Yes, we agree with that formula. And Srila Prabhupada has given us so many books, but we have to take the impetus to read the books ourselves. And that knowledge becomes a level foundation. But there'll always be questions. There'll always be something that you may not understand. And that's where we have to actively seek the association. And that might be like-minded association. That may be finding devotees who are also grahashtas. Grahashta means householder life. And finding a mentor, it's a practical process. And at the beginning of this class, we were discussing this real important action that we have to take, which is to reject association and matters that are not going to be favorable for us, and only accept things that are favorable. And in this way, there's a time and there's a commitment to actually create that. It's a good question, probably. It's hard to sort of see, as I'm getting older, my memory's not as good as well now, so I'm just trying to think 2005 when I came to Stoke, and having you here probably was great. And what does that ultimately mean? That means we had association. That means we had regular weekly meetings. So if I was struggling with anything, I had somebody to ask. And in my own time, I'd have the opportunity to read. But I'm far, far behind the process and still got the challenges, still trying. So if if you can guide me, Prabhu, that would be a much better proposal. Hare Krishna. It's so nice to I know there's more that usually attend, Balaram was saying, but due to festivities, there's less. But keep coming, keep taking the association of the temple and Radhamohan Prabhu, Balaram, Priya Mataji, amongst yourselves, and that's it. Just keep at it. Have you got another trip to India this year, Prabhu? That would be nice, yeah. Jai. Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Hare.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Everyone sing, please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone please. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Shri Radhe. Jayo Panchatattva, Jayo Panchatattva, Jayo Panchatattva, Jayo Panchatattva. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Ram Sankirtan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki
Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajakacarya Stotra Shati Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhay Charanar Vrind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाशादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड श्री गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की श्री नवदीप मायापुर धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई की जमुना माई की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी महारानी की कलयुग पावन श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की बृहत मृदंग ट्रांसिनेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की ट्रांसिनेंटल प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namaste Narasingaya. Praladaladaine. Hiranyakashipo Rakshaha. Shilatangkaraye. Ito Nasingho Parato Nasingho. Yato Yato Yamitato Nasingho. Pahe Nasingho Ridaye Nasingho. Narasinghamadem Sharanam Papadem. Tava Karakamaravare Nakam Avuta Shingam Dalita Hiranyakashipur Tanobrenga Keshavadrita Narahari Ropa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Jaya Nashingadev, Jaya Nashingadev, Jaya Nashingadev, Jaya Nashingadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitagora Haribo, 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 Nitagora Haribo.
नमो ब्राह्मणी वैष्णवे स्वल्प पुण्यावृतं राजन् विश्वासो नैव जायते शरीरारविद्याजाल जड़ेन्द्रियताहेकाल जीवे फैले विषय सागरे तार मध्ये जीवाति लोभो माईश दुर्मति ताके जेता कठिन संसारे कृष्ण बड़ा दयामय कोरी बार जीव जाय स्वप्रसादन दिलो भाई शयनामृत पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमे राखो श्री चैतन्यताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Gokulanand Mahaprasadam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So thank you very much, Amani Prabhu, for a beautiful class. I'd like to mention here his son Nimai. Did you all notice in his class he was sitting at one place? You know, being a young boy, he sat at one place and heard it very attentively, carefully. Isn't it very unusual for a small boy to do this? Yeah, because he's a very special boy and he's very nicely being raised by Amani Prabhu. So please give a big Hari Bol to Nimai also. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So thank you very much, both of you, Nimai and Amani Prabhu. Some lot of festivals are coming, so I won't take up much of your time because we are ready for Prasadam. Our next big festival is on 13th October. We'll be celebrating Dashera, or we call it Vijayadashmi. Actually, Dashera is on Saturday, but we'll be celebrating on Sunday. So we are planning a nice drama on Lord Ramchandra's pastime. So on that day, we might have a little extended program on that day. So 13th October, we are celebrating Dashera. And on 20th October, the following Sunday, we are planning 4 hours of continuous Kirtan. So just Hare Krishna Kirtan on 20th of October, Sunday. So that day, we are hoping that some wonderful Kirtan singers from around the country will come to Stoke. And we will nice Kirtan on that day. So that day evening, we will have the program. We don't have program in the afternoon, rather we will program in the evening, starting at 3 o'clock. So from 3 o'clock onwards, we have program in the temple. So these two are the major festivals coming up. Then on the following Sunday, 27th October, we'll have His Grace Krupamaya Prabhu from London. Many of you know him. He came for the Prabhupada's appearance, Prabhupada's installation, and quite a few times he came. He's one of a very senior devotee in Hare Krishna in UK. So he's coming on 27th of October. And then again, the whole of October, it is the Damodar month. It's a very special month. So we're going to have various other festivals as well throughout the month. So not to overload your head with a lot of date, you can remember these 2 dates. 13th October, Sunday, we'll have the Dashera celebration in the temple. And on 20th of October, we'll have the 4-hour Kirtan in the temple. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please make yourself upstairs for the Prasadam.